And who knows? By the fourth line saying that who knows? Maybe I might see something different, experience something different, I have let go by the fact that I have let go. And then by the 36th, it says, Zhongnam Khapa Sudajang Nyangen Neba Jemebe the Sanje Jirenzo Sujang Yoran Yuame. So therefore, I have no one around me, and these howling and sniffing won't bother me, and at the same time I will be able to, it says Sanje Jeden, meaning Tathagata. Or Sangye, of course, is a literal. Sanje Jeden is not just Sangye, but Sanje Jeten. It means recalling the ways of the Enlightened Ones. And so in this case, we can probably say something like Tathagata, but then it will break the order of the stanza, and so therefore it's kept as Sanje Jeden, the Jin Shekpa, known as Tathagata. That's the Tibetan version. Tathagata means something like in terms of tense, the way it was, or the way it is, in terms of present tense, or the way it will always be. Why? Because the contemporary and non-evasive term for emptiness is impermanence, changing. And so therefore, why they are Buddha or Buddha, as we say, or Buddha, Bodhi, the liberating, awakening aspect of it is that they have been there, done that, as I was saying in the past. Tathagata, yes, means that they have been there, done that, basically. Yeah. In Tibetan, the retroflex, is it da? Yeah. Retroflex says te, as that, di as this. And so therefore, no matter how far apart we feel, in terms of language even, they are, when it comes to the basic principles, or when it comes to the basic feeling, even the sound, the noise come together, This, that, te, di, Not much difference actually. And so therefore, Tejin Shepa gone that way, walked that way, treaded that way, went there, you see. Actually, it's not that difficult to break through the language. And so therefore, by being in this state of solitude, literally if we can, great, in terms of, it's not saying we have to, but it will somehow, or not again, will, but it's possible. The possibility is there that those spaces will come, might occur, like I said very briefly, as waiting for the bus, We feel that we are in orderly fashion, we are going through our just way of life, that I have a profession, I have this responsibility. Some of us might feel that, Some of us might be feeling something else. Whichever way, whether it's cordial or not, whether it's common or not, it's possible, particularly for those of us who we think that I have something going on. I have a steady job, I have a steady profession, I have a steady lifestyle, I'm in a monastic setting, I'm in a lay setting, and so on. It just goes on. Yet, nevertheless, the situation will prompt, beg, or make us feel as if I'm confronted by something. Suddenly I discovered that I have a tumor. Suddenly I realized that I'm in the middle of a war. Suddenly I feel that I'm in a pandemic. Anything is possible. We just cannot predict, we cannot forecast. We can try, depend on all sorts of technologies to forecast what is going to happen. Of course, to say, in average, to be more realistic. We think that's realistic, that depending on this average, I can forecast. And so therefore, we can probably break through what the Tathagata was always saying. Yes. And so therefore it's very interesting subject. Yeah. So can I break through, and if you are dependent on this average thinking, then on a positive note, yes, actually we can break through, but it requires that we listen, or at least take some time, give some space in thinking the ways of the Bodhisattvas, or the ways that the others have ventured. And so, as part of the sadhana, as part of practice, what we do formally as Chenrezig or Guru Yoga or Munro or anything, then we can recall Jeten, as recalling or calling from afar, to put it very sentimentally. Then I have literal, in this case, possibility of acquiring those literal spaces every now and then, even in a day, I catch a cold, is that bad? I might have all the excuses to say off duty, call in sick, But during that time, what do I do? It's kind of boring, yes. And so therefore, how can I make that aspect productive? And so, in this case, we have a glimpse of solitude in a literal sense. But theoretically, by committing this partial suicide, I'm sorry that I'm bringing that term suicide again and again. But nevertheless, it cannot be helped. If we are playing with that idea, it's very possible that in this very hall, there are a number of us who may be playing with it, playing with this fire. And so therefore, theoretically, literally, if we can open our mind, or open our heart, then we will realize that if we give in to that, if we embrace that, then nothing can disturb us. Or in this case, the samadhi will not be lost.